The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McLean, Tucson's favorite family show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another vivacious episode of the Common Good Radio Show. I am Pastor John McLean here. Oh, I'm sorry, Abram. I always ruin it, but next segment, you got it. Yeah. I'm here with my co-host, Andreas Ruiz, with I Believe Myself Coaching and Leadership. And as you guys all know, we have a great show for you today, some pillars in the community on the show, but this would not be the Common Good Radio Show if we did not give grace and thanks to a very loving Father that makes this all possible. I usually do that with the Lord's Prayer that goes a little something like this. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
So you didn't see that coming, Gilbert, but here we are. We have my friend Gilbert, and I didn't get your last name. What's your last name?
Last name is Elam.
Gilbert Elam with Maxim Electric. I want to think are you the chairman of the ambassador committee?
Vice chairman.
Vice chair.
Co-chairman.
Yeah. I think Grand Poobah is a better fitting name, but we'll go.
We'll
work with it. We'll workshop it.
We'll work it out. I don't want to steal any of Russ's, any of his terms that he likes to apply to himself.
I get it for sure. Yeah, but he is with one of my favorite groups in the city of Tucson. I'm a member of the group. I want to feel like at least a year, 2 years. How long have you been a member of 100 Plus Guys?
More than a year.
Yeah, so over a year, we've been members of 100 Plus Guys Who Give. I was actually the ill-witted chairman of the ambassador committee prior to our current Poobahs. And it's for those actually, don't let me ruin it. You explain to people what is 100 Plus Guys Who Give.
Well, it's an organization based off of the women's organization that was the 100 Plus Women Who Care. And I think Jonathan saw that and how they were doing their thing and how it just made amazing difference in the community. And he really put in the effort to make this happen. And, I'm so excited about being an ambassador for this thing. This is my first charity organization I've ever been a part of. I've always owned companies and done work in the community, and I've given back through things where we've donated time and effort and things like that to different projects, or just somebody that we knew was a needy individual had to have something done at their house. We would go do the electrical or whatever. But to actually be part of an organization, this is my first time doing it, and so I'm excited about doing it. But I got to tell you, just when we get together at Brother John's barbecue and you just see all those guys that are there having a good time, meeting new people, meeting people that are genuinely interested in the common good, is just it's a great feeling.
Was that a play on words? Or
you like? I'll plug anything. Yeah. Well, I'm a shill. There's no doubt about it. But so that was I think I joined about almost 2 years ago now. And I just wanted to do something, and luckily, this opportunity came up, and Russell Zarko is also an ambassador as well. And thank goodness, because he's got so much more experience at this kind of thing than I do. So but it's hard, John. How hard it is. I mean, it's a
part-time job on top of the other jobs.
The other jobs, and trying to get guys all, aimed in one direction and stuff like that. It's very tough.
It's tricky, yes, for sure.
So we're still, trying to get our footing a little bit so that we can get some stuff happening in with the 100 Plus Guys That Give. We've already talked to some of the members who have said they they don't want to be the driving force behind it, but if we'll set something up, they would love to, to be there to go to whatever, community event that we want to set up the table at and put stuff out. They're ready to, we got volunteers ready, they want to do stuff. So
you're speaking to the pains of being an organizer for sure. But I mean, the cool thing about 100 plus guys who give, and you've seen it even better than me and Andreas have, how much it's grown since the inception.
So fast. I mean, I think when I first joined, it was, I think he was talking 50 guys, and so it's more than doubled. And I mean, that's not even a spot on how the ladies do it. They,
and we did that. We did the co-event last July. Yeah, that was super fun. And just, I mean, kind of just to paint a picture in the mind of the listeners who may be interested in joining the 100 plus guys. We once every 3 months, or 3 months, once every 3 months, we have what we call a big give, where we all come together. We pretty much have a hangout where 3 different nonprofit organizations speak to what they do, and then we all vote on which one we want to give our collective monies to. And us as members, every quarter we all, I think, give $100, something like that.
And the whole $100 goes. That's
directly
the
to them.
Best part about 100 plus guys that give is, even the charities that we're voting on and stuff, you see up on we put it up on the screen so everybody can see it, right? And all the guys pick great charities, really good local charities that a lot of their money goes directly to the stuff. But even on somebody who's doing a really good job, they maybe only have 1 or 2 part-time employees and a bunch of volunteers. Still, only maybe 80 to 85% of their money actually goes to things. So much of it's going to cover overhead and things. 100 plus guys that give 100%. And we have no overhead. We've got really great sponsors that pay for stuff. And Brother John's, you guys, I mean, just everybody makes it possible for that full 100%. 100% of your $100 goes to that charity. And I think that's kind of the thing that really got me when I first joined. It wasn't ever a matter of like, well, it seems like, the most of the money's going to, it was, we vote. There was 112 guys that put $100 in, it's $11,200 going to this charity, I love that.
Yeah. And so far, I mean, just from your own experience, what has really stuck out to you the most about being, the 100 plus guys who give? I mean, are you from Tucson? Did you move here from somewhere else, or what was
my mom and dad met and moved to Tucson right after they got married, and my 2 older sisters were born here, and then my dad decided it had gotten way too big, way too big a town, so he was going to move to a town that had no traffic light. That was his goal. So we moved over to the western side of the state, and that's where I was born and raised. And then about 1999, a buddy of mine was working at an electrical contracting company here, and he's like, hey, I got a job for you. So I moved back to Tucson, and then eventually my parents moved back here, and my siblings have moved back here and stuff like that. So been here now 26 years. So
and you're officially a Tucsonian. I think they say right? 25 years.
Right? So I just broke over
you just broke it. You just got here. You're 1 year old.
Right on. I finally arrived. So, that's, born and raised in Arizona. You know what I mean? That's basically it. And
well, that question was kind of hinged on it. Just like 100 plus guys who gives, it seems like such a unique organization, unique happening in Tucson.
Yeah.
What is so? And we got 20 seconds when we jump out of here, so you have to give me a real quick answer on this one. What has really stuck out to you about it, and how can people get involved?
There's the website. There is a Facebook page. There is emailers that go out. So, if you check with some of your friends, I'll bet you're going to find at least one of your friends is a member of 100 plus guys that give. That's kind of where we want to be.
Yeah. And then for people who want to participate, what do you think is a good way to plug in? Just go to one of the Brother John's.
Yeah, that's you can go there. They'll be able to tell you exactly when the meeting is going to be. So if you just happen to stop by, that's the only option you have and you want to get into it. But otherwise, look it up on Facebook.
Nice.
That's about the best way to be able to see the schedule for when the next meeting is going to be.
Awesome.
And man, we just encourage everybody to try to get in there and do that.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much, Gilbert, for joining us, brother.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
That's Gilbert with Maxim Electric, also one of the head poobah with 100 Plus Guys Who Give. We're kidding. He's with the Ambassadors Committee, so definitely check him out. I'm Pastor John McClain with the Common Good Radio Show here with Andreas Ruiz of I Believe Myself Coaching. Hang in there. We'll be back right after the break, but we definitely have to thank our sponsors, Proper Villains, For Tucson, We Care Tucson, 100 Plus Guys Who Give, Whitestein Ranch, Tucson Tool Shop, Donald Landscaping, Ramirez Cleaning, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, Hope Dealers Global, CB2 PGA, Masterpiece Studios, Pep Inc. We'll have all that and more after the break.
The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
Welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show for the 5th time.
For the 5th time. Or
I'm pretty sure.
Or if this is your first time listening to the show today, just the first time, you know, which one or the other. But it's actually it's kind of fun, and it's a representation of how long we've been doing this show. I remember when Andresito used to always
he used to come out and he was doing what he was doing. Yep.
Yeah, look at
that
this.
was what,
man.
5 years ago? So
At
he was
least.
about 8 years old when he was doing it. Yep.
Man,
that's funny.
We're getting old. Yeah,
speak for yourself, buddy.
This is the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McClain. That old man across from me, that's Andreas Ruiz of I Believe Myself Coaching and Leadership. His awesome son, Abram Ruiz, did our intro. And as I promised you, we have another pillar in the community, a powerhouse, a guy who I don't think he even realizes how much of a powerhouse he is or how much of a power couple he and his wife are. But he's, thankfully, I can say one of my friends. His name's Matthew Crandall, and he is the founder and director of Hero Breakfast.
Yes, sir.
Hero Breakfast.
Thank you
Fill
for
us in,
inviting me.
Yeah.
I mean, Hero Breakfast, we simply take heroes to breakfast. It's nominated by the public. It's not a lottery. Everybody gets a breakfast. It is a private event when we do it, and we put 5 heroes together. They bring a guest. There's some members of the community that come and thank them. And, we just want to build camaraderie and teach people how to show a little more gratitude to people that are lifting us up. And beyond that, we, try to help out heroes in hardship where we can. We are new, so, we're still getting our structure put together. But we have a lot of cool events that we've done recently. Breakfast for Marana PD, Oro Valley PD. We have a special canine breakfast coming up.
Ooh, that's cool.
And we will be hosting some canines and their handlers from Marana PD, TPD, and Border Patrol. So,
are the canines getting breakfast too, or
they're getting some treats, but most of them have a pretty specialized diet. So as we put this together, we've learned that they get a little something. But
so no sneaking them candy, Andreas.
Okay, yeah,
we know your tricks.
Yeah,
we know your tricks.
So, but it's been really cool. I mean, we've just been able to connect with a lot of people. And of course, we host the third Wednesday networking event at the Station Pub and Grill, and I mean, it's just kind of taken off.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not good with timing, so I can't remember when we have initially met. And I remember hearing you guys talk about, hey, we do this breakfast to thank our local heroes. And when I heard it, I was like, this is the most brilliant idea I've ever heard in the world. It's so needed. Just the simple fact that in a lot of ways, the organization I created is to make up for this erosion of being thankful for our first responders and are the heroes that are all around us. Something that started back in the Vietnam era when those guys coming back from Vietnam were called baby killers and were treated poorly. And now we are now as a society, we have learned that we should thank our veterans for their service. But not only should we thank our veterans for their service, we should thank police officers, EMTs, paramedics, firefighters, teachers, nurses, etc. I mean, there's just the list goes
Absolutely.
on. The list goes on. So
We're looking for the unsung and the unseen, as well as the extraordinary. You know, we have had SEAL Team 6 members nominated, but you know what is really kind of shows you just the love in the community is, you know, we've had single moms, school bus drivers. So, I mean, and that's kind of why we say, if you believe they're a hero, we believe they're a hero. And we just amazing stories, and, you know, people have just touched the community in amazing ways, you know, because everybody's, you know, in this world that we're kind of exposing is a giver, you know, because, I mean, they were recognized for that. So it's just really neat, you know, seeing what people are doing out there in the community.
For you, like, what would you say has been the best experience of, like, getting to hear all these stories? Like, how has that impacted you, like, doing this for others? Because, I mean, I bet you enjoy, you know, just giving to them, but then I bet you that you in return get something back just by listening to these people's stories. But tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just they're always amazing. I mean, one thing that I didn't really anticipate is that, you know, my little brother is a former Marine, and you know, we've talked over the years and stuff, and he's been in combat, but as we've gone through this, and, you know, he went to a breakfast and stuff, I mean, he's really opened up to me about his life in the military, and you know, really how it affected him, and his, you know, he ended up getting divorced and stuff, and I mean, just stuff that I never would have probably had the conversation with him about if he hadn't have seen what we were trying to do. And then, you know, just you learn that there's all types of things that happen to people that cause them to maybe have an obstacle or a misstep in their life. And one of the stories, probably one of the most heartbreaking that we've run into so far, is that we had a hero that was nominated, and before she left the Navy, she was a victim of sexual assault on a battleship. And so she was very distrustful of the military and the benefits, and she got pregnant and was marrying this young man who was considering re-enlisting because for benefits. And just because of her experience, she hadn't really kind of went out and asked and tried to get anything because she just didn't trust it. So we got her with a couple advocates, and he did not re-enlist. She had her baby. They got him set up for, you know, everything that they deserve for their time in the military. But, you know, those are the things that, you know, we're trying to put together and, you know, just help, because, you know, she was just in a situation where she needed somebody to just give her a little help.
Yeah, and I mean, and as you're saying that, you know, almost kind of brought a tear in my eye, just kind of thinking of the Hero Breakfast, the brand, whether it's the events or just the overall idea, just how you create this safe space for whether it's us veterans, first responders. Like, I know last networking event, the Hero Breakfast networking event you guys had, I got the opportunity to have like a real quality conversation with David with Colonial Life. And you know, he was just telling about his time, you know, his time in the Army and his time as a police officer, and, you know, we're just exchanging stories, and, you know, we've got to hang out since then, and just like you're saying, there's us as particularly people that are in combat, we don't really want to share that stuff. We don't really feel safe to just talk about that stuff willy-nilly, because we feel like we may scare people or they may think we're crazy. But there's something about the safe space that Hero Breakfast creates at your networking events, or even the breakfast. I've been to one of your breakfasts where it's just like, okay, here's my tribe, here's my people, I'm safe here.
Yeah, and I mean, in the beginning, you know, it was kind of based on veterans, and that's what we were trying to create, and it just kind of built into more. And once you consider, you know, what's happened to law enforcement and even firefighters, I mean, you know, there was an attack not too long ago, and I mean, you know, just these hero industries of, you know, the past, I mean, they're just not looked at like that. And we just, you know, want to show people the integrity involved in raising your hand, showing up and saying, hey, I will, when, you know, a lot of people just won't. So
for people who want to get involved, how can they do that? Particularly from a support standpoint, like you were saying, you're a relatively new nonprofit now. Congratulations!
Thank you.
How can people help help that effort and help fund the nonprofit, because that's definitely the biggest issue with most nonprofits in Tucson.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are setting up some easier streams to do this, but for now you can go to donate at Hero Breakfast, or email donate@herobreakfast.com, and we can send you a link to donate. And then if you want to nominate a hero, you can go to herobreakfast.com. We need some funds to spruce up the site a little bit. Right now it's only meant for nominations, but we'll get the donation stuff set up soon. But if you email us, we can send you a link, and we'd love your help. You know, every little bit helps, and everyone we're honoring, are just the greatest people. I mean, really and truly. And we also are working with a marketing person to figure out how we're going to tell these stories a little.
Yeah, and then also I saw at the last event, you guys are looking for title sponsors and looking for sponsors for the different events that you guys do. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You can sponsor an entire breakfast. We also do breakfast for agencies and organization, and allow them to pick their heroes, such as Marana PD or MUSD. So if you'd like to sponsor a specific agency or organization, please get in touch with me, Matthew, at DesertSunsetRealty.com. And, we can put our heads together and figure out what we can do for them.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Matt.
Thank you.
That's Matthew Crandall with Hero Breakfast. I'm Pastor John McClain with the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Homeless Veteran Transition Program Veteran Rescue Mission. Caddy corner for me, you got Mr. Andreas Ruiz of I Believe Myself Coaching and Leadership. How can they get a hold of you, bud?
You can contact me at 520-392-9179, or you can check me out on Facebook, Andres Ruiz.
All right, and we'll see you next time. And don't forget to wash behind your ears, eat your vegetables, watch educational programming. You probably watch too much junk TV. Watch something that'll actually learn you and grow you a little bit. And God bless. Catch you next time.